Hello, what's going on? My name is John Cleveland Hinton. What's your name?
I'm not gonna say my first name, but it's Carolina Hinton. That's my middle name.
Yeah, see, because I always call her Sweets, so that's how we do it. She's nervous as hell.
Not only am I nervous, but I have a little sinus cold going on. It's not COVID though. It's not COVID. I had COVID a month ago, and yeah.
You know what that means? That means if she had COVID a month ago, I had COVID a month ago. First time you had it was in 2020.
Yes. Before vaccines, I was in the hospital for 6 days. So.
Yeah, it was crazy because like she was laying next to me. I remember it was like a Tuesday night, and you were coughing and coughing, and you know that look you give somebody when they next to you coughing. At the beginning of COVID.
We almost broke up. Oh
no, we didn't. We almost broke up.
We were all so nervous to get COVID, and we all caught it anyway. It was inevitable. And I have to apologize for my voice because of this sinus thing I have going on. My voice is a little hoarse, so.
She sounded like the nanny.
No, she was nasally. This is more like raspy.
Raspy.
Yes, and the nanny. Yes, that's one of my favorite shows, and it's because I understand it now. Back then, when I was 16, 30 years ago, oh, I just aged. It's okay. I'm proud to say I'm almost 46, but yes.
When I heard Dr. King speak for the first time, it was a remarkable speech. It moved me. And I remember, man, my daddy, when we left on that mule. No,
you might remember all that, but I wasn't around in that time. So I came around in the 70s when everybody was dancing disco and doing drugs.
Well, I know one thing. Oh, you know what? I do want to say, because you are into to music. This is one thing. Like she sings all the time, and I love it.
Don't ask me to sing today. Maybe next week.
In the car, in the bathroom, in the stores. But what was the time you didn't sing?
When I was unhappy. When I was in the wrong relationship, that's the only time I didn't sing. But John gave me my voice back. Not this voice. This isn't my voice.
And you gave me mine too for comedy, because we got together. Matter of fact, tell them we met during Zumba. I'm a Zumba instructor, as most of you already know.
Yes.
And this particular time, what happened? You came in.
2016. I was going through a really bad relationship and breakup. And I said, you know what, let me do something for myself. Let me join the gym, get myself right. And about a month later.
Not to interrupt you, but it was also advised because of health.
I was going through health issues. I have lupus, and we'll talk about that at some point. But I've had lupus for 20, 30 years now. And so I said, let me join the gym and, just to kind of get back to myself. But I only did the machines until I heard some Latin music. And it was coming from somewhere. I didn't know where. And the guy at the front desk said, yes, it's the Zumba class. And he pointed down where you can see it's like this big glass. And I said, oh my, a black man doing Zumba using cumbia. I'm half Colombian, so like, I'm like, I have to be there. And
I had on my Zumba pants with no drawers on, so I was doing a lot of. That ain't happening. I had drawers.
but yeah, I was like, wow, that's
Weba.
not what I was expecting. So I said, next time I'm gonna join that Zumba class. And I don't think I've missed a day since, except during COVID. But
Damn, that's true, huh?
yeah,
Since 2016.
2016. And I just thought you were just unexpected.
Yeah.
And I was in the back of the class. Remember that? All the way in the
Brother
back.
was out there shaking them hips, you know,
Yeah, he
and
was.
the merengue, you know,
Wearing some gray pants.
with no drawers on. I had no drawers. It's just,
I could tell.
I had drawers on. Stop playing. I was just playing around. But you know the thing is that I got into it as a dare when because I didn't even know what Zumba was. It was like they was like, yeah, you don't talk. I said, how the hell you know what to do if the instructor is not talking? So I did it as a dare, and the lady is named Sister. She, matter of fact, she still does Zumba. This is back in 2010. No, 2008. And then when she left, we had another instructor. And at the end of it all, you know, I liked it so much, there was nobody else to take over the class. So I said, why don't I try it? And 13, 14 plus years. It's a good thing I did. I wouldn't have met my wife.
Yes, I'm glad you did. Because in that time, I was doing Zumba on DVDs. Actually, prior to that.
DVD.
On DVDs, Beethoven, the creator of Zumba, Hindi and Colombian, I definitely, I did Zumba in that time, but you were just something else. And I'm glad it worked out like that. Yeah.
Since that time, we've done a lot. We've done a lot. But I know you was talking about lupus, and this was the cool thing I think that she thought of me, like, because to explain to them, you know, the effects of lupus, because you weren't born with it, right?
No, when I was 16 weeks pregnant in 20, actually, what am I saying? In the year 2000, I was 16 weeks pregnant with my youngest son, and I started getting joint pain, and my knees would give out sometimes. And, you know, they had to figure out what was going on. And they first thought it was rheumatoid arthritis because it does mimic arthritis, and it's very hard to diagnose. But after a few blood tests, they diagnosed me with lupus. And I had no idea what it was. And I like to share my story because I know there's a lot of people that probably wonder what's causing the joint pain or what's causing, you know, the muscle weakness. And I had to learn a lot about what lupus is. It attacks your tissues and organs, and eventually it attacks the kidneys. But thank God they found it on time because I've been able to survive it because I'm not a lupus victim, I'm a lupus survivor. And it's been 23 years. And with a healthy lifestyle, I could say that that's what's been the most, you know, efficient therapy for me. It's just having a healthy lifestyle. But next month is Lupus Awareness Month, so we'll definitely be bringing more facts and just awareness about it, you know.
And for me, you know, I was going through an ordeal where I have psoriasis, right? And I didn't know what that was, and I had developed that when I was taking care of my mom, and you know, I went through all different type of, you know, doctors and so forth, even my own doctor, and not until I went to a dermatologist because, you know, to say what is wrong with my skin, why is it breaking out, and it was like, oh, it's psoriasis. With it's also a condition that's related to arthritis and so forth, you know.
So we have similar ailments. That's another way we connect.
So she takes injections for her lupus.
Well, no, I
Not
get
for
to take injections for lupus, but they had to pause that because I also have severe eczema. And when the pandemic hit, I couldn't even see the dermatologist. So I had to kind of go through that ordeal of just itching everywhere, not knowing what was going on with me. But thankfully, they were able to diagnose it. And now I am on injections for the eczema, which was godsend. But you should see us every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, me, it's every 2 weeks, but you do it every week.
I have to use my injections every 4 days, and you once a day.
It's twice a month, and you should see us laying in bed.
Mama like two junkies living upstairs.
Like I got my injection in one hand.
I got my injection too, baby. Let me stop.
But yeah.
Yeah, so we do that,
Yes.
and health wise, that is the most important.
And that was godsend. I've been on the injection for about a month and about a year and 3 months, and my skin completely healed. I'm working on just, every day, just one day at a time.
I will say this, before she found out, as far as the eczema, this is like around the time of the pandemic. So, trying to fit in for a dermatologist and to pinpoint what was going on, 2 years of suffering.
Yeah. And this man, not once did he complain or thought it was just too much to handle. Yeah, that was hard. You were there, and
you're my squeeze. I got you.
I know.
I got you. But we do a lot of fun stuff. We do a lot of every day. It's a now, even though we've been together 4 years,
living 4 years, married 4 months.
4 months of marriage and close to 4 years of living in sin.
I guess.
No, we live with love, but we made sure that this right here. It's crazy.
Yes.
You ever, any of y'all that's married out there, right? Like, especially at the beginning, like where you accidentally misplaced your ring, but you're not sure. Like, she went through that ordeal one time.
Only once. But you've gone through it how many times? Like 4? Thank God I bought insurance for these rings, because I know he's the one that's gonna make me have to order another one. Just saying.
Well, that wasn't the reason why I brought that up.
I'm sorry. I'm a little.
That she drink a Coke 45.
It's Dr. Oh, I shouldn't say Dr. Pepper.
Why? We're about to get sued.
No,
our first show, baby. We gonna get sued. We ain't got no sponsorship with Dr. Pepper.
I'm a little under the weather, so yes.
This at Walmart. We got Dr. Thunder. We're drinking Dr. Thunder.
What about Price Chopper? Dr. Bob? Like, no. There's a few things that I can tolerate getting in store brand, but when something's called Dr. Bob, no. Because you know what Bob stands for, B-O-B. Yeah.
No, what is it? Bring your own bottle?
For certain women, battery-operated boyfriend.
Oh!
So when I see the word Bob, I think about that.
Battery-operated boyfriend?
Yes. I'm glad I don't have to only resort to a battery-operated boyfriend. I have a husband now. So now I have to.
And I'm glad too, sugar.
Mm-mm.
I'm glad too. Let me tell you what let me say this shit was on the floor. I don't even just have to work like that time.
But anyways, yeah, I'm not a Dr. Bob type of.
You know what it is? Let me tell you what it is. See, I grew up with poor, not poor, Po.
P-O.
We couldn't afford the extra OR at the end. So everything that my mom bought, with the food stamps, There was we didn't have we didn't grow up with a washer and dryer. Well, we grew up with a
No.
washer.
But it was always broken, so you might as well could say that you didn't. I grew up in the project, so I know.
You had a clothesline. And no,
Oh
no,
yeah, I like the clothesline though.
no. We had that radiator. When your mama will wash the clothes like the jeans and socks and shit and put it on the radiator and your jeans be stiff as hell when you try to put them on.
With that yellow mark.
The yellow
going
mark
down.
on the tube socks.
Yes. Yes, I grew up like that. I mean, I know you and I are 10 years apart, but I grew up in the projects, Rice Heights, Hartford. Yes, that's where I grew up.
But you were born.
What do you mean I was born?
I know you was born. I'm saying, but it was the segue of being born in New York.
Glad you admitted that I was born in New York. He hates the fact that I was born in New York.
I don't hate
But yes, in New York, where the roaches outnumber the population of humans, yes, I grew up in New York, where when you have to use the bathroom in the middle of the night and you're walking down because the apartments were, what are they called? Railroad apartments or whatever.
Mm.
You had to walk down a long hallway, and if you did not squish a roach this big, you weren't a New Yorker. Now I couldn't live like that. I think I would freak out if I saw a roach this big, but my childhood. Hey, they were our pets. We named them.
So we grew up, right? My mom would get her food stamps, and she would get like when you get the food stamps,
Raisin bread. You tell it, cause I'm still grossed out by it.
Okay, so we would get the Wonder Bread once a month with the food stamps, right? And I love peanut butter and jelly with Wonder Bread because it was nice and moist and everything. So the bread come with the twisty tie, and so I didn't twisty tie it. So
you just did that little twirl, tuck,
and just put it, yeah. And so I come home from school, and it was about to go down. I got the butter knife. And the milk, I even put two ice cubes in the cup. First of all, it was a McDonald's cup.
Was it soggy at the bottom? Is that how much you use it?
No, not the plastic cup. Not the paper one, the plastic one.
Shoot, we used to bring home the people ones. That's why
the paper one. No, every time we went to McDonald's, we brought the cups, and so we had three glass things to drink out of, 3 glasses.
And they all said McDonald's.
And no, the cups, Grimace. We had a Grimace one. We
Ronald McDonald.
We had four or five Ronald McDonald ones. And matter of fact, I used to like fill that thing up with water, milk. But anyway, let me get back to it.
Get back to the raisin bread.
Well, when it was time for me to get the bread out, when I had the peanut butter and jelly on the table, I looked, and a bunch of roaches had got into the Wonder Bread, and there was only like 5 slices used, and I knew my mom was gonna whoop my ass when I asked her. I went to her and I said, "Mom, can we get some more Wonder Bread?" And my mom was like, "What you mean? I just got Wonder Bread with the food stamp. You ate all that bread already?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't." So I brought her in the kitchen, and she saw those roaches in the bag. I can make you eat this shit. And then she threatened me. My father in the bedroom. "Hey, y'all got some more of that raisin bread?"
He's got antennas sticking out of his teeth.
I don't know why I got feet on my raisins. But this bread good.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't.
So, but yeah. Matter of fact, speaking about the McDonald's cups, when you were little, you tell your kids don't drink anything after a certain time because they went to bed.
Yeah.
Well, I used to fill that McDonald's cup up with milk and guzzle like a half a gallon, sleeping in my daddy's room about maybe 12:35 in the morning. pissing all over my daddy. Mabel, get this boy out of here. That boy done pissed all over me, drinking all that milk. Get the other end of that mattress and flip it over. It was piss on that side too.
I can't.
Anyway.
I can't.
So we was talking about.
How old were you? Like 14?
Oh damn, 14. I was 16.
So he said.
I was R. Kelly before R. Kelly.
Thank God social media wasn't around in that time. You would have been known as Pissy Boy. Shoot.
I was 6 years old, right, laying next to my daddy. I don't see nothing wrong. Oh, I don't see.
I mean, I peed in my bed. I peed in the bed.
Well, last week. That shit was crazy. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I was 6 years old. Not 12.
I wasn't 12. Nobody say nothing about no 12 years old.
Last week.
No, I didn't. Well, no, we're not going to even talk about something else there. Anyway, we were talking about singers because you're 10 years older than me.
Excuse me?
I mean, 10 years younger.
Don't you make that mistake when we're out in public. Anyways, yes, I am half Colombian. I'm 45 years old. I'm proud to admit it. But you do have 10 years ahead of me, so there's a lot that I've learned from you. Like?
Well, like politics and things like that, movies, but you were into it anyway. But for you, it was freestyle.
Yes. I love me some freestyle. I used to sneak because I grew up in a Pentecostal home. So I used to have to sneak. What was the station? 89.3.
89.3.
Freestyle every Thursday night. And I didn't even realize that the first time that I heard freestyle, I was about 5 years old, 1983, when Shannon came out with that Let the Music Play. I'm sorry, I'm hoarse. That's not my singing voice. But Let the Music Play was one of, it was the song that people identified as the first freestyle beat. And Planet Rock was
Rock, the Planet Rock.
Don't we exercise to that sometimes? Planet Rock.
The Planet Rock.
Yes, they, it was actually written by the same person. I can't remember his name, but Planet Rock and Let the Music Play, and it was around the time that people were breakdancing. I experienced that in New York. I did.
See,
breakdancing was very.
It's not that I dislike because she's from New York, but growing up in Connecticut, everybody always was saying they from New York, even though they just would visit their grandparents and grandmothers or whoever from New York.
I have the papers to prove it though. So I come from immigrant parents, but I was born in New York. So, and freestyle kind of originated in New York, Miami, and Chicago, Detroit.
I thought freestyle originated in Africa.
No, but you know what? African beats were actually, it's a very used, it's like the culture comes out when you hear freestyle, salsa, merengue, everything. It originates from African beats, so you guys have a lot to do with that.
That's right.
And it gave us some great music. You know, like I said, I was 5 when I first heard Shannon, and I didn't know.
So who's the king of?
King of freestyle is Johnny O. Johnny O, but you know what? Also Stevie B. Not only Johnny O, he's had so many hits in freestyle. But
Johnny O right there now, huh?
That's what he looks like now. I actually had the privilege to see him in Holyoke, Massachusetts. I danced bachata with him, which is a different genre altogether, but he's so humble. He really is. He's such a humble person. But I grew up watching or listening to freestyle and Lisa Jam. When they came out with that song,
Which one? Which one?
I can't even think of it right now.
Baby, I know you something to me, so I don't really want. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if I take you home, would you still?
I would.
Some-
Not if you sing it like that, no.
I can't sing right now. My voice
she
is
can sing.
hoarse.
She can sing. I can't even tease that she can't sing because she can sing.
Yeah.
She can sing. So you know what? See, you just sing with your smile, baby. Go ahead, sing that shit with your smile.
It's gonna have to be because my voice is hoarse right now. But maybe next week I'll sing a little bit of something.
Right.
Not today.
Now, see, this is what I introduced her to, because for me, not just music but comedy.
Oh,
So we love comedy. That's the reason you like to laugh. That's why.
I didn't know how much I loved comedy until I met him. Because I watched shows like I watched George Lopez and In Living Color. In Living Color was my show. In the 90s, I loved In Living Color. And I never knew how much I would enjoy comedy until I met him.
Well, for me, my uncle, no, he was married to my cousin. All right, he was older than me. So when I was a kid, he says to me, "Yo, Jaja," that's what they used to call me. Well, they still do. And he met Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was the reason why a lot of comedians touched him, like a lot. Red Fox, it was Sanford and Son with Red, and everybody grew up with Red Fox and Sanford and Son. Now the thing is,
So funny.
he is hilarious, and he was in a movie called Cotton Comes to Harlem, and if you ever see Cotton Comes to Harlem, he's the one that's pushing his carriage, and he's a hobo, like a bum guy, and he's just pushing carriage of junk throughout the whole movie. And then at the end, he finds, I don't know, you just cough dead on my.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened was, is the camera over here? Where's the camera? No, I'm joking. But anyway, somebody seen him in that movie and thought that he would be great in Sanford and Son, which was originally Steptoe and something, a British show. And that's how Sanford and Son, he got the role. But he also said, I want to be called Fred Sanford in honor of his older brother that had died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy
Mm-hmm.
is to me the dude, the Bruce Lee of art, to be able to use no way as a way, having no limitations as his limitations. The dramatic acting he did in Dreamgirls, you saw Dreamgirls.
Yes.
I
love Eddie Murphy.
And the Shrek series. Hey Shrek! Hey Shrek! The Nutty Professor.
Yeah. The first time I ever saw anything related to Eddie Murphy was Coming to America. That's one of my favorite movies.
Coming to America?
That was the first time that I remember seeing Eddie Murphy.
Like the barbershop scene?
And I was like, oh yeah, I was about 8. Yes, the barbershop scene.
Every time somebody talk about Joe Louis, they got to bring Rocky Marciano out the ass. Why is that? Rocky Marciano good. When he fought Joe Louis was 150 years old. Frank Sinatra came into the barbershop. I said, Frank, how old is Joe Louis? He said 100 years old. Well, I don't know how old he was, but I know he got a head whoop.
Sexual chocolate.
Sexy chocolate.
I love that.
Sexy chocolate.
That was your name at the beginning. But anyways, yes.
Sexy chocolate.
Sexual chocolate.
Chris Rock. I got a chance to work with Chris Rock as well. Chris Rock, yes. Chris Rock to me is the ultimate professional. Let me tell you about a little history of Chris Rock. HBO, he got a half an hour special, right? Now, prior to that, he's been around and he's been doing, different things and making his own career and being in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy and so forth and CB4 and all the movies of that. But he was performing with Martin Lawrence, and I think it was in Philadelphia.
Marty Mark.
Yeah, that's right. You love Martin too.
I love Martin.
So it was in Philadelphia. And he opened up for Chris Rock, and Martin did like an hour on stage.
He opened for Chris.
He opened for Chris because Chris was stuff. And when Chris got on stage, he got booed off because black folks at the time, black folks wasn't feeling him at the time. And right then and there, that's when he made a decision. He had to go back and start doing a lot of the urban rooms. Mm-hmm. So he had an opportunity to do a half an hour special, right? Mm-hmm. They used to have it on HBO back in the day called One Half an Hour, One Night Stand. And he killed. Chris Rock killed on that. So then they asked him, hey, would you be interested in coming back and doing an hour? And what happened was he knew it was going to be his one shot. And this is what I learned from him because it was in an interview. He said that he went on the road for 6 months.
Wow.
And for 6 months, he went on stage every day, Monday through Saturday, and only rest on Sunday for 6 months because he knew that was his only shot. And if he'd blown that shot, like some comics do, he wouldn't get another one. And that's when he let it do what it do. You remember the joke he did with the toss your salad man? Toss your salad man?
I do.
Right? Whoopsie. And some of the other jokes and Mayor Barry, how you smoke crack and get your job back. You can't smoke crack at McDonald's and get your job back. But it made him a hit. And what I learned from that is do not take anything for granted. And we saw his Netflix special.
Oh yeah.
What you think?
I actually don't blame him for bringing up some of the topics he did. I honestly don't blame him. I love Will Smith. I've always loved Will Smith. I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but he had that coming to him.
Let me tell you.
Maybe there was a couple things that I thought maybe he shouldn't have brought up, but I also don't blame him.
Now, from my understanding, because I liked it,
I loved it.
Chris did it live. Chris did that set live. It was one take, and I don't know if any of you that are out there have ever been to a comedy show, or those of you that are comedians or ever even did your special. You go over it, and then boom, you tape your special. When Richard Pryor did Live at Sunset Strip, his first set that they recorded was awful.
Really?
It was awful. And he had to tape the same set again.
Oh wow.
Same suit, same stage, in a different setting, and he came back and killed it. But this was after the burnt thing, and he haven't been on stage for a while. And he even talked about it. He says, I know y'all want me to do good. I want to do good and shit. But tonight, I just don't got it. Right? But he came back and showed him. Yeah, he came back and showed him why he was Richard Pryor. But Chris, that was a live performance from the beginning.
Oh,
that slap. And now I heard Will Smith is trying to sue him and Netflix if they don't take it down. That's a punk ass move. If that's true.
I agree. That should not have happened.
Because you would have been a convicted felon, Will Smith,
if he had decided
to press charges.
Yes, with pressing charges. Yeah. So it is what it is.
You used physical violence, and like Mark Twain, he used lyrical violence. He got to the heart and soul of it because that's what he does best. Yes. In his arena. And it's true. Listen, you can't keep your livelihood, your personal life in check, that's a personal problem as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, exactly.
When I'm on stage, I would do my jokes, and I would say what have you, but personal stuff with my wife is personal,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
I don't talk about nothing that should not be talked about. Remember that thing we did with the rabbit and the duct tape?
I don't remember the rabbit. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
One of us woke up with our underwear on backwards.
That was you.
Oh, that was me.
That was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what? Um, let's. You know what I do want to talk about too. Um, what do you what do you? I don't know. How can I say this? Um, what do you think is a quality that every man should have, that a woman might be looking for?
to be appreciated. It definitely means a lot to a woman when her man appreciates her.
Open book.
Open book, no secrets.
I ain't gonna lie. It was funny at the beginning when you said to me, this was years ago. You said, "Babe, I need to do da 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 da. Where's your phone?" I said, "Oh, it's right there." She just grabbed my phone. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. She know my code. she know, she know my code. I ain't nothing to worry about, nothing to hide."
And it feels good when a woman can fully trust, not having that. I wonder what he's doing, or I don't know.
See, for me, it's the appreciation.
Yeah, that's definitely top on my list. Appreciation and communication.
We don't, yeah, communication. We communicate.
No, we talk about everything. There's certain things that I wish he didn't talk about, but you know. Yeah.
Well, we'll wait off. We'll figure that out later on. Put it in. I'm gonna like eventually we're gonna have guests on our show. We're gonna have guests on our show. My son, because I would love to have a conversation with my son on here because um, um, he helped me make it do what it do. I'm so proud of him. My son Isaiah.
He was our best man.
He was our best man.
Yeah, well, yes,
he was our at the wedding. Yes. So we have that father and son connection, that I really, really my son is something. I think all parents, we go through this thing where we want the kids to be better than us and raise them to be better than us, and we sit back and we sometimes we have a question mark like, is this motherfucker gonna graduate on time? Or is he gonna get a job? No, he's always been working. And that's a shout out right there to my man on the right with the Jordan hat on. Long live Artie Rob, man. Rest in peace. Johnny Benson there. That's me in the middle. Gonna miss my man Artie. Artie Rob was one of the greats comics.
I'm glad I got to see him a few times doing his routine.
Yeah. So
yeah,
and you know what? So now I gotta, I thought, who would be my biggest fan? And I guess you're my biggest
fan. I am your biggest fan. I love seeing him on stage. He is so funny. I could hear the same jokes every single time, and I still crack up.
Yo, there was this one time last month. Was it last month? So I had did a show, and there was a lady there who was dressed kind of provocatively.
Yeah, she was.
And
yeah, she was.
So at the end of the show, I guess she was trying to. She was flirtatious with, I guess,
She was flirtatious with every single man in that comedy show that night. So I would have been okay if she would have approached you differently, but she was all on him. There's no Latina that could say that she would ever allow any chick out there to be flirtatious with her man and get away with it. She's looking. I almost pulled her weave out. You can tell the rest because I'm already, I'm half Colombian, so
Yeah. Damn, I shouldn't even about that shit. Yeah. Well,
it's okay.
she
I know who I have.
she wanted it. She was like, "Hey, might take a picture. We'll take a picture." So
But she was all like, oh, "Yo, let's come on." I'm like, "What the heck?"
she said, so she's like, "Come on, take a picture." And then she grabbed me, and then my wife says, "Oh, hell no." And she says, "Oh no, we're good."
I said, "No, we're good. Let's go."
Yeah, it was like that. I stopped packing up shit. Wasn't even ours. I had salt shakers and tablecloths in my bag and shit.
I wasn't threatened, but
My
I'm not
wife
gonna
told me,
let
"Let's
no
go." I started.
woman to be up all on my man.
My,
Hell no.
my wife said, "Let's go." I stopped packing shit. Wasn't even mine.
Mhm.
Got home. I had some two shot glasses.
I think he was flattered by it, though. He was flattered. It felt good, huh?
You know what? I can't say that. I mean, I can, but I didn't do it for that reaction.
I know.
But
I
normally,
wasn't worried, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna let just somebody just be feeling up on you. Hell no.
Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want.
He was on the main line for her. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as y'all know, her dad is from Colombia.
Medellin, Colombia. ¿Qué hubo, pues?
What did Pablo Escobar say? Pomo or planta?
No. I'm still trying to teach him. Plata o plomo. Plata o plomo.
Planta or
Plata.
planta.
Plata
Plata
o plomo.
Plata or plomo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling them y'all want lead or silver, money.
Yes, money. Plata, which means silver, but it means, money. It wasn't playing.
Pablo, he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I said, "I'll take the silver and 3 baby wipes if you have it."
But yeah, my dad is from the same pueblo that Pablo Escobar was from.
¿Dónde?
Medellin.
Medellin?
Medellin, Colombia.
Medellin, Colombia.
Yes. But my mom was born in Honduras, so I'm half Honduran and half Colombian.
Man, I mean, she can cut her ass off and then cut your throat.
That's right. But I sound Puerto Rican because growing up in Hartford with a Puerto Rican stepdad, predominantly Puerto Rican school system, I sound Puerto Rican. So cuando yo hablo español, yo sueno como si yo soy de Puerto Rico, pero yo no soy puertorriqueña.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactamente. I'm teaching him.
Mira español un poquito, but
he's to the point where I would not be able to talk about anything private that I wanted to know without him understanding it, unless I went into like deep slang.
With the right shirt and some sandals on, boy, I look Dominican. At the bodega. ¿Qué lo que primo?
¿Qué lo que primo?
¿Qué lo que primo?
Yes. I have Dominican in my past, but
yeah. Well, you know what I wanted to say? We listened to this group. I don't know if they can find it. The producer can find it. If not, that's fine. But there's this song, because what we do is we like to go out and drive, and I'll make a different playlist. Sometimes it'll be like, what do I have on my playlist?
He's got playlists for everything.
Yeah, let's see. I can't play it now, right? Because of I got Faruko playlist. Faro. Oh, she loves Notorious B.I.G. You tonight. And there's another one. Oh, and another one.
I love Mary J. Blige.
You know what's funny? We wanted so hard. I bet you a lot of people out there wanted to do like us. We wanted to play R. Kelly at our wedding, but we knew we couldn't. We had about four songs. We was like, damn, it'd be nice to play that one, but
no.
Wycliffe, Busta Rhymes, all in that Destiny Child, Soldier, Drew Hill,
Snoop.
You get with Dolly Dog, always eat crazy with your mom and your daddy on the baby. It's the DLG from the LBC. Then you got so then I have my disco list here. What is this?
Bee Gees. Oh, Andy Gibb.
Thelma and Houston, Don't Leave Me This Way. Staying Alive. I Will Survive. Punky Town. You should be dancing. Hey. I can't sing that high unless I'm squeezing my nuts. How about this one? This is Before Your Time. This group here called Rolls Royce. Oh! Michael Jackson? We got a lot of stuff. Here you go. Damian Marley and Junior Gong. So we got everything. We got everything up in here. Matter of fact, I even got some Dr. Martin Luther King.
And there shall come among them a great leader, who with his wisdom and understanding shall break the chains and bonds which bind them, unshackle their wrists and ankles, tear cobwebs from their eyes and ears, and thereby make them free. Ladies and gentlemen, the Negro Moses of the 20th century,
Negro Moses,
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
See?
I wrote a report on him when I was in 5th grade.
You did?
I did.
And what was that report about there? You can say for me, Caroline.
What was he from, Mississippi?
I'm not sure, but go ahead about the report.
No, I wrote a report on him.
You
It
did?
was like in 5th grade.
See, I try to tell people when we talk about Dr. King, because I'm into history and historian buff. My producer always called me the professor. I'm not the professor.
He should have been. You should have been a professor.
I don't know.
I learned so much because of you.
My daddy, Dr. King, the Honorable Dr. King, started going into the civil rights movement at the age of 27. He was speaking nonviolence and talking about the black man and how the oppression, and talk to us about Jim Crow, talk to us about civil rights, human rights, not just black rights, but for all people in India, all over the world. He spoke up against Vietnam in early 1920s to the early 1960s. A lot of people don't realize this country was predominantly white from the early 1920s to the 1960s. So it's 90% white. So Dr. King was preaching to them that this is what's going on with us. How the effects of physical bondage for almost 400 years and Jim Crow from the 1870s. And the slavery that affected us from the first slave ship that got here in Jamestown in 1619. We've had to fight that fight, and we're still not equal.
It disturbs me when I pull up documentaries about that.
And that's what's dope about her.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So the struggle is real, and occasionally on our show. And if you see right there, Dr. King right there speaking at the memorial, the great I Have a Dream speech. Some of you probably don't know that that speech was supposed to be at the Capitol, but
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy was afraid that there would be a riot and the images that might happen. So he moved that speech from the Capitol to the memorial. There's a lot in Black history that occasionally I would discuss and talk about throughout the thing. But what we do here
You're
as
a
the,
history buff. I've learned so much from him being a history buff. And I have to correct myself. He wasn't born in Mississippi. He was born in Montgomery, Alabama.
yeah,
It came to me because I did a report on him when I was in elementary school.
Mhm.
Because they always celebrated Black History Month.
Mhm.
So February was always the month where we learned so much about Black history. And I'm glad I went to a school that actually, you know, definitely took it serious. So,
Well, yeah, and we're still struggling. We're still fighting the fight.
yeah.
You know, and you know, I occasionally I will have some political leaders and people that I know that speak on the things that we the topics that we have today. Mother's Day is around the corner, so on our show we're gonna be honoring all the mother.
I'm a mom of two sons. One is
And
in the National Guard, so my son Daniel.
mhm,
Yes, Private Ramos. Yes.
Private Ramos.
And my 22-year-old.
Um, that's great. And my son, who's 24,
Mhm.
and we just, you know, his mom is an awesome mom. But what we're gonna leave you guys with?
Oh, his son, oh my God,
What?
he is, your son is awesome. Your son was the best man in our wedding, and he's so awesome. He reminds me of my own kids, so it warms my heart when I see you guys together.
And he's lost weight since then too. He's been at the gym and doing his thing.
And he's got an awesome girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's always good to have that right person in your life, and he's definitely got the right person. And so do you.
I got the right one in my life. And you. Ouch! You just bumped me. That's another thing. Sometimes we be in bed, she be fucking me up. Like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, with the scratches.
No, let's not go there because I can reveal things about you.
Yeah. So anyway, before we do go, we would like to make a look at that.
Look at this girl, and yeah,
Many, many, and my son Isaiah, and that's over her. And that's who's that pretty
Yes.
one with the jean?
Oh, that's me. Yes.
All right. So before we go, we do like to because we like what do we watch a lot of movies. We watch a lot of TV shows. We're in the movies. We listen to a lot of music. So I like to just give a selection of a song.
Mhm.
But first, what's the TV show that we started watching? It was a Godfather of Harlem.
Godfather of Harlem.
Forrest Whitaker.
Mhm.
If you get a chance, we're on season what now? Is it season 3?
Oh, we're in the current season, so season 3. We have to catch up to it. But,
He plays Bumpy Johnson.
oh my God, let me tell you, that show is something else.
The guy that plays Malcolm X is on point.
He is
The one that plays his
awesome.
wife is on point. What do you know that you're good with names? What is that guy?
That is Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo
Esposito. He's
Esposito.
Italian,
He's
but
Italian.
yes.
This is an excellent movie. This movie here is about Bumpy Johnson.
It's a series.
It's a series, sorry. He's the godfather. He was the one that went up against Coach Schultz. He did about 11, 12 years, something like that. 10 to 12 years or something like that. Kept his mouth closed with the 5 families, with Lucky Luciano and all these guys. He gets out of prison and he wants to reclaim what was properly his or rightfully his which was up in Harlem with the
You
heroin.
gotta watch the show.
Yeah, this show is off.
It's something else. The acting, I miss Paul Sorvino though.
R.I.P. Paul.
Yes, Paul Sorvino. You know, he was in the first 2 seasons, but after his passing, yeah. But that show was amazing.
It was awesome. So if you guys get a chance and you want a real gritty series that deals with history, a lot of history with Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali. There's a segment in there when Muhammad Ali fought and was in New York. When the assassination attempts, a lot of the stuff that they talk about with, I mean, Bumpy Johnson's oldest daughter, her addiction because of the heroin that he was pumping into the streets at that time in the late 50s, early 60s. So this is a really good series. Godfather Harlem. And we watch a lot of series.
BMF.
Yeah, Power, all of that. So we will advise you on series and movies. We saw Creed.
Creed 3. Oh my God.
That's a movie right there.
That was an awesome movie.
Jonathan Majors. The movie was directed by my man Michael B. Jordan. His first directorial debut. It was off the hook. It wasn't just a boxing movie. This movie dealt with the life of a person who was incarcerated for. I don't want to be the spoiler.
No,
don't be the spoiler.
You gotta go watch it.
You gotta go watch it.
It was definitely worth the watch.
We enjoy each other's company, and we love each other so much. I'd do anything for you, you know. And when we're together, it's magical.
It's a blast.
When we're not together, we can't wait. So the HinTons is just about our lives. There's going to be times where we're going to be sharing with you when we're in everything that we're doing in a big community, dancing salsa, Zumba parties, comedy shows, movies, music. What makes us click? We love long drives. I drive though.
Oh, I don't like to drive, especially at night. Yeah. But I enjoy driving. I mean, being the passenger.
Yeah.
While you're driving.
So it's like driving Miss Daisy, just the early version, you know, the hood version. And there's just so much that goes on in our life. There's so many things that we can't fit into an hour. Exactly. But we want you to join us each and every Friday evening, 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on UVV TV. We're part of an all-star group of people here with unvaccinated voices. And we got my girl Justa Verse, you know, doing her thing. And my friend Eddie Clark with his 2 twins, you know, he's holding it down. He's the producer of our show there. Isn't he? So we want you to join us each and every week. And next week we're going to have, I'm going to have a special guest that I want to bring on. Yeah. Yes. And we thank you guys for hanging out with us.
And I won't sound like this next week.
No, it should still be fine. Has to still be fine. I love you. So I'm John Cleveland.
I'm Carolina.
AKA Sweets.
Yeah.
Join us next week.
I call him Bobby.
She do. She goes.
And if you don't know, now you know. UVV TV, you know what it is.